okay, let's try this. Interesting. Okay. Okay, this is not okay. Now let's hope there's not too much noise. Okay, let's go to the airport. And let's try not to crash. Interesting, okay. Well, well, well. Another day, another dollar that would be lovely to be made. So far, no dollars being made in this endeavor, or in any filmmaking endeavor at the moment. But that could all change. That could all change in an instant. Now I'm going to collect a friend of mine who is visiting. Now she lives in Bulgaria, which is a neighboring country with Macedonia, a country I used to live in. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm off to go and collect her. Bring her back here, then we're gonna have lunch with some friends. So this is an interesting thing. I'm a little bit thrown by my new camera angle because I'm obviously trying to be cool. Not cool, but I'm just trying to be engaging because, you know, the previous videos lacked a lot of movement. And what's more interesting than seeing movement of roads, car on a road in Sicily, of all places where an accident could happen at any time. You know, so maybe I'll have an accident and then we'll have something for the insurance for once. Don't know if you can see that lovely view. Anyway, let's keep things focused. So yesterday I was talking about having an unproductive day, but actually in the end, by the time the day ended for me, which was around midnight, midnight, it ended up being an okay day. I'd been to the gym, I'd cooked my wife dinner, I'd had a secondary script meeting with my family collaborators, and I'd done some work for this class that I'm teaching on Saturday for the Iranian students. Now, that was an interesting thing because it's talking about actors. Maybe we should talk about actors and why actors are so important, you know, because actors, not only do they lift off the page some of the best moments in making films is working with actors, because you have an idea, you write it down on a piece of paper, and then, you know, in my case, often what I've done is I've written characters for specific actors, but then sometimes I haven't done that. And in the case of my, you know, student film that I made for my graduation, you know, some of the actors didn't do quite as well as I'd hoped, but, you know, I learned something from that. But then people like my friend Harry Bradley, who's an actor who's currently on the West End doing the Mouse Troupe, which is, if you don't know, it's the longest running play on the West End. The West End is like Broadway. God, I wonder how shaky this camera is, because there's these terrible, terrible roads. If that's what ruins this for me, if that's what ruins this whole video for me, I blame these roads. These roads are particularly bad. And now I'm getting distracted by these roads and what the camera might be doing for that. Anyway, it's steady now. It is steady now. Okay, now this is a funny bit here, because this intersection is crazy. And you know what's interesting is in Sicily, everyone likes to go home for lunch at 2 p.m. or 1 p.m. So it might even be full of traffic. Anyway, working with actors. This actor who's on the West End currently, he's fabulous. And something I've enjoyed about working with him is that you maybe write something down on a page, you give it a go, and you hope it's going to be funny. But then not only does he do it in a way that's even funnier than you expected, but he adds a depth to it that I hadn't previously. It's not that I didn't intend it, of course we all want depth for our characters that we write, but a good actor can create depth and range in any character. And that's what makes actors so important for films. Also, another interesting thing is working with people who are not. Jeez Louise, look at that. Did you see that? Did you see that? He was in the lane for turning left, but he came over into my lane because he wanted to do that. As Louis C.K. says, it's his favorite thing to do. That's not my favorite thing. There's a whole routine Louis C.K. does about cutting people off like that. And he could have gone the longer way. He could have gone a little bit. He could have gone round and come back round again. But no, he wanted to do his favorite thing, which was to go this way. Now, maybe because I'm on camera right now, I'm trying not to lose my rag. But that is something that could make me lose my rag. That's been an interesting adjustment. But yeah, actors. Actors are important. Very, very important. And that's why I'm excited to meet some more actors here. Because I have ideas, but I think ideas can only be put into action and have a life when you start putting the things in place to allow them to do that. I have an idea about a film, and I want to talk about it with this actor friend that I've made, who I need to go for a coffee with still, but I want to talk about it with him and see what he thinks, and then see how it can progress and be elevated through his own creative contribution, because that's the key to all filmmaking. If you're not willing to collaborate with others, you might struggle to get anywhere. And I think adjusting to a new country the importance of collaboration is huge. I need to stop saying that's something I've noticed, by the way. Watching these videos back, I say afterwards, and I realize I actually also put that in my scripts now. Why is that? Am I deeply insecure that I have to say after everything? Do I have a character defect? No, I'm just joking. But yeah, interesting. Now today, once I've got this friend, Carmel, we're going to go and have lunch. But perhaps what we'll do this afternoon is because this is a friend from England, and it's not often I have a friend from England. I had my friend Aaron staying with me, and we made a little Instagram thing. And I'm realizing now, although I'm making these videos, I need to get people on other social medias to come and watch these videos, right? And I also think it's a useful technique in this whole decentralized process in filmmaking is to make little Instagram reels, because right now I'm doing a little fun angle for this vlog, but I'm just talking, right? I'm trying to do something interesting by showing the journey. But really what's going to draw people into is when I do things that are a little bit more cinematic and show my own creative eye, my own creative voice. What am I trying to say? And so I think Instagram Reels and TikTok Reels, all these things will be a useful tool. The end goal is feature films, right? But we live in a 21st century, we live in 2025, where people go. And people never flipping go when you give them a chance. They either cut in front of you, or they don't go when you offer them to go. Sorry, side rant. But yeah, we live in 2025, we cannot ignore, as filmmakers, I can't ignore, being where I am, I can't ignore that social media is the new version of a portfolio, If I ever dream of making a feature film these days, I think I just have to do everything. And I've never been afraid of just creating, so I think I just need to create in this way too. And so, whilst I wait for more creative collaborations and creative friendships, I need to make use of the friends that come here. Even though Carmel is only coming for a layover, I've got to find a way not to use her, but because she is an interesting creative person herself. She has an interesting voice, she has an interesting look, she has an interesting whole being. So I'm hoping that today, before I drop her back off at the airport, or before she goes back for her second flight of the day, that we can make something. Now I don't know what that is, but I will I'll capture the process of shooting something. Maybe we'll go down by the rocks, either way, I know I'm going to use my Sony for that. Right now I'm just using my iPhone to shoot this, but I'll use my Sony for that one. And yeah, so really that's it at this point as I drive to the airport. These are my initial plans for the day. I need to work on the lesson again for Saturday still. I have all these notes down about different things to do with acting, and you know, sometimes I have fears about getting into teaching film, not only because of my own sense of like I haven't actually made it fully as a filmmaker. I've had experiences here and there. I've had paid jobs here and there. I've been a working professional in moments in film, but I'm not a constant professional. You know, I've done a lot of my own work, but I'm not a constant professional in the industry, in either, you know, the industry of fiction film, or, you know, feature films or short films, and not in a creative agency as well. You know, having done some stuff for the King's Trust or the V&A, or, you know, some coffee companies in London. You know, it's not been constant. So when it comes to teaching, I feel sometimes uneasy about it because it doesn't feel earned that I should do that. But this is an opportunity to be of service to people who are studying university at an underground university, so it's different. And also I'm doing the last lesson, and my sister and her husband have been doing, my brother-in-law have been doing the previous lessons. You know, my brother-in-law has a PhD in fine art and to do with, you know, filmmaking, and my sister has been a working editor and producer for, you know, at least 10 years now. And so I feel like those two are definitely in a great position to be teaching, whereas I don't necessarily feel that way myself. But you know what? It's been a great thing for me just to even go back and reflect about the role of actors in film and directing actors, because I have felt that that's often been a strong suit of mine because of my theatre background, because of my own love of acting as an art form. And I've always, you know, whilst at film school, some people struggled with talking to actors. I'll never forget this guy who, you know, they say in film school, whether it's right or wrong. I kind of subscribe to this. Even Quentin Tarantino subscribes to this, that when an actor is acting, you watch the acting with your own eyes, not through a monitor, not through the camera. You watch it with your own eyes, and it puts them at ease. But I'll never forget this guy when we were doing an exercise in filmmaking. He didn't want to talk to the actors because, you know, actors would come in and they'd be paid to be in our films. He didn't want to talk to them, so he would just look at the monitor, sit on the other side of the room looking at the monitor, go to the left, to the right. Yeah, okay, that's the shot. And the camera's gone. It was inevitable. I'm very annoyed because this mic, right, the one you see all your bloody influencers wearing, it's supposed to be simple. You plug it in, you press record on your phone or whatever on your camera, and it records the audio, clean audio immediately. Now that whole last section of me driving, I was speaking as though the microphone was working, but it was on. But you have to go on the bloody app to make sure it's definitely connected to your phone. So, yeah, anyway, so I've made it to the airport and now I wait. I wait for Carmel to tell me she's heading out, and then I go around the front and I get her. So yeah, now for the next couple of hours, I need to figure out what we're going to shoot together later this afternoon. I got the okay from her also. She's up for shooting something, but what it is, I don't know yet. I need to figure that out. That's not always usual. You should always be prepared when you want to shoot something, but also opportunity comes. You must take opportunity. So yeah, and all I was saying before about directing actors is that you just got to talk to them. You got to be comfortable speaking to them, and you should never let someone else speak to them through you when you're directing a scene. And this is what this person at film school was doing. And really, you've lost the actor at that point, and you've lost the opportunity to get the best performance out of them. That was really the point I was making. I hope this audio is better. I hope that we don't make that mistake again. I think the audio was also crap yesterday. But yeah. Blue skies in January. January the 31st, 2025. Look at those skies. I've got to stop biting my nails. My mum and my wife will kill me when they see these nails. I've got these weird, chunky hands. Okay. Later on, I will prove that I am a filmmaker who is trying to shoot things. But don't judge me. I want to be better. I'm 5 years into this journey of being a filmmaker, but no less humble. Actually, I think it'll be 6 years because I finished film school in 2019, so this is my 6th year trying to make it as a profesh. And as I've said before, we're doing it here in Sicilia. And I've got to learn the flipping language. I've been slacking super hard. God damn it. Okay, I'm spiraling. Speak later. So eventually Carmel and I got to a place where we could shoot. Later in the day, after hanging out with my wife and some other friends, we got down to by the sea, and I decided to shoot Carmel and ask her about what it's like living away from England, what it's like living abroad, and because she lives in Bulgaria. Now, the idea behind this is to create an Instagram reel in a stylized fashion similar to what I've done recently, and take whatever footage I've got and whatever audio I've got from asking her these questions and make something interesting and stylize it. It's really just a step in the right direction towards just creating something. I would look at the mountain.
Oh yeah, you're on mine.
You know, like because I remember when I was in Macedonia, people left Macedonia, people leave Sicily, people leave Bulgaria.
Yes.
So when you're facing that challenge that you're in a place where people leave, like what does that do to your own mentality? This is the last question before we speak normally. Without a camera.
Without camera.
Yeah.
And a mic. You know, it's funny, yesterday I met two girls that one was in Dublin, one was in Canada, and they've both come to connect with their roots and find work. And one of the girls asked me, like, why are you so hopeful? Like, when you speak so hopefully, even though, yeah, you're describing these things, like people leaving and maybe not feeling hopeless, even if they decide to stay. And it just made me think that the more and more I've interacted with people, even though there's like a decision to be made to stay or to go, like I just feel even more convinced of the beauty that people see in their own people and the beauty they see in their own society, and that they want, like they are thirsting to be hopeful. They want to be hopeful. So yeah, if anything, it makes me more hopeful, like to be amongst them and to be able to see those strengths and how I can also change myself, knowing that about them.
Thank you, Carmel.
Thank you, Lou. Would recommend.
Make me a star. Quindi. For those of you who don't know, quindi means so. It's like allora. Let's go. We don't have much time to waste here. Let's go. Right. I just dropped Carmel off at the airport. Wow, what a visit. What a visit. She was here from 2 o'clock till it's now 7:52. She will get on a flight and she will go to Bucharest. What an amazing quick trip. We went for lunch, whatever. Let's skip past the stuff. Let's get to what we were talking about in terms of film. I said to her, I was like, Carmel, you're here. I'd love to just shoot something with you, anything, just something. And you know what I said earlier. And so then it was interesting. We went for lunch at this friend's house, and I know I said I wasn't going to say anything, but we went for lunch and I could see the sun going down. I kept seeing it going down. I was like, God, I really want to go and shoot something, but we're having lunch at someone's house. This is nice and we're having good conversations, but I was getting itchy. And I have a terrible quality that when I'm ready to go, I have a presence about me that wants to leave. And so I was like really trying to keep that in, but I really wanted to go because my friend is here for only a short amount of time and I wanted to make something. and you know, like just to show, like, I mean, I'm probably selfishly motivated. I also wanted to show Carmel the sea, but you know, the sun was going down and I was worried that she wouldn't even be able to see it. And as it turns out, we go down there, we finally get there, we shoot. I'm rushing, and he still didn't even know what we were going to shoot yet. Get down there, and of course I wanted to shoot her against the backdrop of Etna, the volcano. But Etna had disappeared behind the clouds because today was a sunny day, but the end of the day is now cloudy because tomorrow it's going to rain. So we missed it. There was no Etna. So I thought, oh God, let's look out at the sea. Let's think of something. And you know, there's moments for preparation before creativity, but then sometimes you just have to act. And today was an occasion for that. It was important in this journey just to go for it. So I wanted to I don't know what we were going to shoot, but let's just go out and let's shoot something. Is this the one? I'm pretty sure. Is this the right way? Have I gone the right way? Yes, this is the right way. So it was great. We went and we shot something, and she's speaking truthfully. That's all I wanted. I didn't tell her much what we're going to do. I just asked her some questions about what it's like to be living abroad, because she lives in Bulgaria, and yeah, it was great. So that was a very, very, very good experience, and full of just nice. And then afterwards we had some really nice conversations, and my wife validates me on a daily basis. She's very lovely and is telling me what I'm doing is great, and it's really, really good. And then there's like, it's to have that, but then to have someone who I've known since I was like 15 years old, and even younger. We've known each other for longer than that. But for this friend to come in and just to see me in where I am now. You know, one of the most important things in this life, look, it's not actually, you know what, it's not one of the most important things. But to feel seen, to have your life be seen by someone, or just to be seen in a situation. For my mum and dad to have come and visited me soon after being married, to be seen was important. To have my friend Aaron last week come and see me here felt important. It feels nice for me. I guess it's important for me. To have this friend Carmel come to collaborate with me, to meet my wife, like to have these friends meet my wife, to get to know her, to talk about how lovely my wife is with that person, you know, like and to have opportunities to talk about what I love about my wife, you know, like to have these opportunities. It's all really important for being good here, for feeling strong here. It's like, yeah, I'm here, and I have this amazing wife who's incredibly robust, who's incredibly loving and sweet and simple, you know, there's no it just really felt, it was good. Today was a good day. I have still other stuff to do. I still need to go and prep that lesson, but today was a good day for just having opportunities to reflect on being in a different place, to talk about my time in Macedonia. You know, one of the things I asked Carmel was, when you look out at the sea here, or when you look at the mountains in Bulgaria, what do you feel? Because I would say that when I'm here and I look out at the sea, and when I was in Macedonia and I'd look at the mountains, I would think, wow, this is not England. You know, I grew up in England, raised in England, educated in England. Everything I see, you get used to the scenery of your home country. You know, to someone from Bulgaria, to someone from Macedonia, they're used to the mountains. My wife is used to the sight of Etna, and she's used to the sea. I'll never forget one time when we were driving in the summer, and I was with her in the car with her parents, and I was looking out at the sea. I was like, oh my God, the sea. And my wife was just looking at her phone, because it was very normal for her. And that's, you know, it happens to me now as well. Everyone gets used to a place, but when I was first here, and still when I get moments to go by the sea, I think and I reflect, I'm like, wow, I'm in this place. I'm not in England. I'm not in Kansas anymore. It's really powerful when I'm thinking about, when I'm here and I'm finding inspiration and I'm acting. Today was a day of action. Today was a day of doing. Today was a day of being. And I feel great in the movement of this car, going to the airport twice, coming home now. It's all very, very, very good, very good. And I hope it makes for a compelling video as well. I don't think I'm going to talk the whole way home because it's quite a long journey. I need to cut this at some point, and that will require me to stop the car and go into the boot and grab my phone or whatever. But day 4. Today was a day of action. Today was a day of doing